Welcome to the presentation about my frame bag. The frame bag I made for Transcontinental Race. There were a lot of curious people at the bike check at the Roubaix for Transcontinental Race, and it got viral on GCN. It was a bit by accident. I was just watching the World Gravel Championships in Leuven, and Simon from GCN approached me for a video, and it got viral on Instagram. Everybody shared it, so yeah, many people seem to be curious. So this video will be about the story behind the frame bag and give you some insights in how it works. So you are probably you might wanna check the whole video. I'll start with the video about how it works. It's just a frame bag with a Velcro flap opening system. You can just mainly I made it to get a lot of bottles for the long rides. I can keep water and food for the whole day. And with the frame bag there's easy access, and I can just store a lot of bottles. It's a bit hard to get the bottles from the bottom, but yeah, at the traffic lights and stuff I can do some reorganization. As you can see, there is a bit of a hole in the frame bag, but yeah, this is the frame bag just after TCR. And after TCR, when flying back home from Istanbul, I had to fit the handlebars through the frame bag, so yeah, I had to make a bit of a hole in it. When the bottles are back and the flap is closed, I will shake the bike a bit, and you can see it's pretty stable. The bottles are just sitting nice in place. Yeah, only the saddlebag is making some noise and a bit unstable. So yeah, it works pretty well. And also after TCR, the frame bag still works. But yeah, it was a bit of a long story behind the bag. It looked like just a beginner who had some crazy idea, but there is there's a long story behind it. So yeah, that's what I want to share with you today. In 2018 I did my first TCR, which was my first ultra race as well. In the training I taped a lot of bananas and big bottles, but yeah, that wasn't gonna work for TCR, of course. So I went for a full frame bag. I saw James Hayden having a full frame bag in 2017, and he won that race. And Leo Wilcox won Trans Am in 2016 with a full frame bag as well. So I thought that would be probably the most aero and the most convenient way to get a lot of luggage with easy access in the frame. So I went for this setup with a full frame bag. I had hydration bladder with 3 liters for fluid, so I could drink a lot on the long hot days. I made it to the finish, even though I had a lot of problems, a lot of flat tires, and I lost my tracker. It got stolen. The second half I had to ride without a tracker, but yeah, I made it to the finish. But the main problem was the frame bag, I think, because it got really wide. It bulged out quite a lot when I, with 3 liters of water and some food as well, and even the crank rubbed against the frame bag, making I had to use some repair tape to repair the frame bag because it builds out too wide and even the crank rubs against it. So I went for a race around the Netherlands later in 2019. I went for a new frame bag with a horizontal divider, as you can see here. I thought with a horizontal divider there's less opportunity for the frame bag to bulge out, so my legs rub less against it, but it didn't work too well. As you can see, it builds out quite a bit as well, and yeah, my legs rubbed against it, as you can see. Beautiful picture from the organization and race around the Netherlands. I won that year, which was pretty cool, but yeah, for the frame bag wise it didn't work out too well. And in 2020, a former colleague of mine started a frame bag company. So together we came up with this design. It was made from stronger, a bit heavier but stronger materials. And with careful packaging, careful organization, it didn't rub against my legs. It had here slightly a bit of a divider, and it had a zipper on top. And it was from stronger materials. And as you can see on this picture, it's quite a good picture from the organization from Race Around the Netherlands as well. I finished 4th, but yeah, the frame bag was good. It builds out a little less, and my legs barely rubbed against it, but it still required some careful organization. For TCR last year, I had a different frame, and I still had the frame bag. So I went with the same frame bag, but to close off the hole, I went for different solution. I just put a lot of tape around it. I thought the tape would close the open space in frame triangle, which because the frame bag was a little too small. But yeah, it helped a lot with to prevent the leg rubbing, because yeah, the frame bag couldn't bulge out anymore. So it was pretty good, and I had here the zipper on top, as you can see, so I could still fit my luggage in. Mainly bottles at that time, and that worked pretty well. I did a good race, especially till Albania. In Greece, I lost a lot of places. I think I was around place 30 or so in Albania still, but yeah, in Greece I lost a lot. But yeah, the frame bag worked really well. But this winter, the zipper broke. As you can see, I had a zipper, horizontal zipper here on top, but this winter the zipper broke. So I thought, well, I have a lot of tape around the frame already. Maybe I can just add a little tape, and maybe then I can do it without a bag, since I barely used the bag for last year because of all the tape. Because the tape provided the strength and not the bag. So I put a layer of tape around it. I made a layer of cling film on the inside to, so the bottles didn't get affected by the tape, by the thickness of the glue of the tape on the inside. So there's just an inner layer of cling film and an outer layer of packaging tape. It worked surprisingly well, even the first time. So it was a bit, whoa, well, maybe it can work. Yeah, I didn't expect that, but I thought, let's just try and see. And I still, as you can see, I have 7 bottles, and the space in front is still quite open. And I hadn't closed off the front, so I couldn't fit too much stuff in there. But still 7 bottles, which I think is pretty impressive. And most frame bags can't hold it, and that's the benefit of this as well, since every frame bag uses a few centimeters of empty space just close to the tubes, just for the material, and maybe some space because it doesn't fit too well. So you can use all the space within the frame, which I'm really happy with. For a race around the Netherlands, I had a different bike with slightly smaller tubes, so I was a bit worried if it would fit. I still had a hole on one side to get the bottles in and out, but the tubes were just wide enough to fit the bottles. They are about 8 centimeters wide, and that is I guess the minimum to fit the bottles well. The tape also stretches out a bit after 500, 2000 kilometers or something like that. It bulges out a little bit. I guess it depends on the weather and how much luggage you carry, and maybe on the course as well. So it bulges out a little bit. With in the beginning it can be a bit hard to get the bottles in and out, but it will get easier over time. And if it bulges out too much, you can just add a layer of tape around it again. As you can see, a great picture by the organization from Adventure Bike Racing, Jacob Kopecki. You can see there's no leg rubbing anymore. There's even maybe even too much space between the legs. I could fit a little more luggage, but there's no leg rubbing anymore. The problem I had many times was solved, and here can make it more clear. Great pictures of the organization. No leg rubbing, almost no leg rubbing, and completely no leg rubbing into this year. So that was great. So in preparation of TCR, I used the bag a lot. The square bottles, I could even fit more. I could fit even more fluid. Like here, 3.5 liters of water and some bananas, but still had the opening in front. So that was a bit of a last minute thing. 1 week before TCR, I added the Velcro closure system. Just a flap with Velcro, and I tested it one time, but it wasn't strong enough, so it broke down. But I did it for TCR, but it was a bit of an experiment. So I suspected it wouldn't last, but it surprisingly did. Only one Velcro strap got loose, but that one was on the opposite side, just to keep the flap open when I wanted to put in or take out the bottle. So it wasn't really necessary, and only that one I lost, but I could have easily replaced it. A lot of people in the GCN comments talked about wind. It's a bit, of course you get a little bit more wind, but even in heavy winds, like the race around the Netherlands 2021, I won the race, which was cool, but there was a lot of wind, extremely a lot of wind, especially at the coast. This one is not even the strongest wind during the race. There was a great video by Jesco But yeah, with a full frame bag and deep section wheels, I didn't blow from my bike. So I guess it was still, it's not too much of a problem, the crosswinds. But yeah, there are some issues. The Velcro steps aren't the strongest. It is hard to get something from the bottle. You definitely need some wide frame tubing. Yeah, the tape can be too tight. Yeah, the tightness is great for preventing leg rubbing, but it can be too tight as well. Yeah, to easily get the bottles in and out. I guess it could be stronger, since the tape from the convenience store isn't, of course, the strongest. But yeah, it lasted on TCR, and you can just add a layer of tape again if it breaks down a bit. The main problem maybe is it's really hard to clean the wrinkles. The tape tends to wrinkle a bit. Around the down tube, the tape isn't that great around the down tube, so there can be little holes and wrinkles, and the sand can get behind it, and it's really hard to clean. So I replaced the frame bag more often than I needed to, just because I wanted to put on a clean frame bag. So yeah, that's I guess maybe the main problem. But yeah, if you know some solution for that, please let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, I hope to improve the design a bit and make it even better. And I guess yeah, I wasn't just too aware of it, but in the GCN comments, a lot of people talked about, yeah, plastic waste. We don't need more plastic. Yeah, they are right. Yeah, here in the Netherlands, we can just separate our waste. So I just can get rid of the plastic and the plastic waste, and maybe it can even be recycled. So it's not I don't dump it in the sea or something like that. So it's not too bad in that regard, but yeah, it could be more environmentally friendly. So if you have ideas for that, please let me know as well. Yeah, if you want, this was my first YouTube video. Maybe I will make a few more. If there are updates on the back, I will share them. But I will share most of the stuff on Instagram, so you can follow me there, and you can subscribe. I will make a video about how to make one. But yeah, YouTube is I don't have experience with YouTube, and I don't know what I will do with it. But yeah, this is the first one, and probably some will follow. So thanks for watching, and yeah, maybe see you at the start line of another cycling event. And if you have any ideas, please let me know.